because I just refilled with gas. Yay! Less than $7 for gas. Also, about that, I found something interesting out about about gas here at the gas station at Fry's here next to the campus. First card I put in. So put it in, put my PIN number in, and everything like that. All of a sudden it said see cashier. I'm like, what? Okay, so I walk over to the cashier, go talk to them. So apparently it said insufficient. It said I had insufficient funds in the account. I'm like, how do I have insufficient funds? I have, over $100 in that account. Everything that's pretty much in that account has been there since December. I've been slowly taking money out of it, paying for, food and stuff, and just random small things. So it's mostly like that emergency fund types thing. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll use this account so I don't have to use my other account, which has all my loan return money in it. Don't want to use that too much, just simply because large emergency purchases, that's what I use for that. So apparently you need to have at least $125 in your bank account to use those pumps there, which is kind of irritating because I have a motorcycle. At most, I'll spend $10. At most, to fill this with a full tank of gas to go almost another 100 miles. At most $10, yeah. And I need at least $125 in the account to actually use my card on it, which is bullshit. They should have an option on those machines when they ask you to take out as large as they do, of, do you have a motorcycle? Yes or no? Yes? Oh, you only need $20 in your account. Because from what I know of, the only time you'll actually spend a large amount of money for a motorcycle to fill it up is if it's like a touring, a really large gas tank. That's the only time I actually know of when you'll actually need one. Whoever did that is so fucking lazy. Seriously, just, fuck them. If I meet them, I am going to give them my own earful. Or at least in my head I do. Because I'm polite. Yeah, we'll return back. Always stall. I'm still kind of new to riding, and this bike is not very forgiving to the new riders. Yeah, I've stalled it quite a bit. I'm getting better at it. So, I'm very new. I actually got this bike in April, so I've only had it for about 2 months. And I've been doing a lot more riding now that summer has come around, and I actually have time to actually ride. Before, during school, I did not have time to ride. So, the reason why I actually got this bike was because I was looking for something to get me around Prescott, which is where I'm at. It's Prescott, Arizona. It's about halfway between Phoenix and Flagstaff. Not actually on the interstate, surprisingly. It's quite a bit, it's a little ways off the interstate. So, that's where I'm at. So I was looking for something to get me around Prescott, during the summer and, in the future. So, that is actually a really nice car. Don't scrape it, buddy. Oh, it's a Viper. I have not actually seen one of those outside of a showroom. So I was looking for something to get around Prescott easy. Just a general commuter vehicle. So I was looking at cars at first because they're just kind of easier to deal with. Well, thankfully I took the MSF course that's offered on campus. So I took that, so I was able to actually have a motorcycle license, so I could also look at motorcycles. It opened up the possibility of my vehicle of choice massively. Because all the cars in the area, that was for my budget, which is about $3,000 for a car and about $2,500 for a bike. It opened it up quite a bit, because all the cars for $3,000 are pieces of shit. They're terrible. So, when I actually got this bike, I was looking at another bike. It was like a Kawasaki something, a little younger than this. I think it was like a 1980, but it still looked the same as this, which is one thing I like. The riding position is better than like the sport crotch rockets, like the Ninjas and the CBRs. So I like the riding position on this bike a lot better than some other things, and I also like it better than cruisers as well. Because that's what I was actually riding during the MSF course, was a really sweet cruiser. It was like some like Kawasaki Bandit or something. It was like some small 250. It was kind of fun. I mean, it worked for what it had to do, which was teach new riders the basics of riding and a lot of the emergency maneuvers that riders have to do. So, but I found this bike for $2,200. I only had to spend another $200 on it to actually get it fixed. There's something with the fuel system, like there's a lot of rust in the tank because it sat for quite some time, and the petcock valve was poorly repaired before. So every time some debris got in there, it would completely clog it up. Like any small amount of debris completely clogged it up. And I couldn't switch to reserve either. Or I couldn't switch to on, it was always stuck on reserve. Oh, hello. Should be. I love this road, this part of the road, by the way, because I can really put the beans on my girl. So, found her. She's a Honda, if you haven't noticed, if you haven't seen my other video. So, the previous video to this, I posted nighttime ride before I got my mic for my GoPro, so it's just the GoPro footage. During night ride on Friday the 13th, a really nice full moon. So beautiful night. But so that's the other video that actually says what the bike is. So I got this bike. I love it. She's been so good to me, and she's so smooth. The previous owner spent like $400 fixing the carburetors up to actually get them fixed, because I had some chrome parts that got sucked through them when he bought it. So he did quite a bit of work on it, which I don't mind spending that much for it. I mean, in my mind, I seriously believe I overpaid. Not overpaid, but underpaid. Woo, I'm part of the club now. I just got some bug guts on my helmet. Got to feel the bugs. Now they're on my helmet. Although it's not too bad. If it was any worse, I would have to stop. Hopefully, funny story. One of the things, because it reminded me, because I'm looking at the bug splatter on my visor. Quite a little while back when I was still back home, I was like was like a freshman in high school or something. I heard a story from a friend of mine who was riding around on a bike, no gear, being a total squid, going like 90 down the highway, and a June bug hit him straight smack dab between the eyes. For people that don't know what a June bug is, it's this harmless bug that's like, it's like seriously like this big. It's fucking huge, and they're heavy. I mean, when one just hits you while it's flying around, it hurts. It actually hurts. They don't bite or sting or anything. There's nothing like that. They're just massive. They're very dense, little bastards that just love to slowly walk around and slowly fly in front of you. So, my buddy, he was out riding, going about 90, when a June bug flew up, smacked him straight between the eyes, almost knocked him end over the bicycle. Over, not the bicycle, but the motorcycle. Well, a motorcycle is just a motorized bicycle, but yeah, it's just one of those things of, ow. And it's like, yeah, no shit, always wear a helmet. Another story, actually, of back home, not one of my buddies, but one of my mom's buddies. He was out being stupid, being another squid. There always seems to be a lot of squids back home, but so he was just going out, not actually speeding or anything, so he was just following the law. He was going like 75 down the interstate on his Harley, when, actually I don't think it was a Harley. He was riding something, but something that could go 75. I know some Harleys can, but a bumblebee was flying around, smacked him in the middle of the chest. Not only did it knock the wind out of him, but it also stung him. So that adds some insult to injury right there. I'm taking the long way around to get back. A lot of cars, and it's starting to get really hot out there. So, but yeah, this one was really interesting things of, just stories that made me want to, when I got my motorcycle, to get good gear and to always wear it. And I mean, one good way to think about this in Arizona, sure the air is hot. Sure, it gets hot at night. It's getting not hot at night, but during the day, it gets pretty hot. Sure. But not only is the ground hard, but now that it's summer, it's also hot. It's just one of those things that when he said that, it's just like, you're right, it is. I would hate to go and just lay down on the roads, and let my bare skin touch the roads.